Yes, it is that time again, guys. Imagine they just put on the radio, yeah, and the tune. This is probably one of my favourite tunes. I don't know who's into Gary's, yeah, but this is a big tune. Anyway, it is Friday. It is the last day of. Hi, hi, hi. It is the last day of October. It's Friday, it is 1 o'clock, or it's just gone over 1 o'clock, and I'm sharing my story, or another part of my story from my career. So for those that don't know me, it is Marsha from Flair. I've been in the fashion retail industry for over 20 years, and I've started as a design assistant after I graduated, and I've worked my way up. Sorry, hi everyone who's joining. Hi, hi, hi. I've worked my way up the ladder from a design assistant through to a garment technologist, and a lot of people have asked me, Marsha, what is a technologist? What are you talking about when you're doing your videos? So a garment technologist is a person who basically ensures the sizing of clothing for that particular brand actually measures and fits correctly to the model's measurements. Also, a garment technologist has to ensure that the fabric actually performs to its high performance. So for example, if I've got a black jumper on, and if I had white jeans on with a black jumper, you don't want the black dye to run into your white jeans. So I'm the person that would have been testing the materials to ensure it doesn't actually run. So that's what a garment technologist is. So I've done that in my role. And I've also had a few people give me some amazing feedback. And they said, you've mentioned you've worked in the industry, but who did you work for? So I have worked for the likes of Topshop. Everyone knows Topshop. I've worked for the likes of Miss Selfridges, worked with some amazing team in Miss Selfridges. And I was also working with probably one of the biggest suppliers in the world. Lee and Fung are the biggest suppliers in the world. They supply to everyone you see on the high street, from Marks and Spencer's, BHS, New Look. Anyone you see on the high street, our suppliers actually supply to them. So that is part of my story. I've worked with big renowned companies. Okay. Now, I've shared a few times recently, last week and the week before, little bits about my journey and what's made me stronger. Yes, I actually worked at Topshop. Hi everyone for joining. Thank you. So I'm just letting everyone know, because people have asked me in the last lives that I've done, what have you done in your jobs? You said you was a design assistant, and you said you was a garment technologist. Hi there, my beautiful model. They've asked me what have I actually done in the industry before I became my own boss. And I was just sharing that I was a garment technologist, who is a person that would test the fabrics and make sure the sizing is correct for the particular company. And today I want to share, because I'm in my car today, it's half term. We've just done shopping this morning in London, and basically everyone's tired, and I'm not going to get any quiet time in the house to do my live today. So I thought, you know what, quickly jump in the car and do my live. Now, I wanted to do my topic today on being patient. Okay, I'm not the most patient person in the world. My family know. If I tell you a time, I'm the person that would be there half an hour before the time, but obviously other people don't get there on time, and then I get really frustrated. But you've got to learn in life with everything. You've got to be patient, okay? And there's a story that I wanted to share on this live today. But there's a quote. I always put quotes in my lives because it helps people, and people understand the reason why did I use a particular topic. So today, my quote is, stay patient and trust your journey. And while I was working for some of these well-known companies, there was a lot of days where I kept thinking, why am I even doing this? Why am I bothering to work? Why am I commuting to London? Why am I commuting to London from where I lived? It's not that far. It's only an hour journey outside of London. But when you've got people around, this is the time now, around October, November, when you're commuting to London, I know the commuters will probably be cussing right now, because there's a lot of people that can't handle pressure and they start committing suicide. Hi to everyone that is joining right now. So when I was commuting to London, it was quite intense. You'd get around Christmas time, people were jumping off trains, and it would make our train journey longer, and it made me realise, I'm like, I can't keep doing this. And we would have, you would hear people jump off the bridge in front of the train track. It'd be every week, and you start to think, what's going on? Why are people really not keeping it together? And it took its toll on me, and I realised, I was like, do you know what? I'm going through this every day, commuting, going through the motions. I can't physically cope doing this. And I was always told, there'd always be someone that have a conversation with me and say, be patient, trust your journey. What you're going through will grow you. And I'm like, okay, I'm being patient. Now, I went through the process of going through so much in my day job, and I eventually decided, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to work for myself. And I got loads of flyers done, and Facebook was new back then, so I got a Facebook page and built it that way. And it was free, it's free marketing, and just put loads of stuff on the page and thought I could sell it. And eventually I was in a position with my brand, I could actually employ part-time 2 people. Okay, and I employed these 2 people, and I trained them up. I gave them a lot of knowledge for free. You know, they weren't trained at fashion school like myself. You know, I have a degree in fashion. My mum and dad put me through university. I've been blessed to have parents like that actually got me through university, and I've been to college. I've studied fashion for years, but these 2 women didn't study fashion, so I gave them an insight. I gave them all the stuff that I'd learned for free. And one of the ladies, after 6 months of working with me, I think she decided, oh, she knew the ropes, she could do everything herself, and she decided to start her own brand. It just so happened the time she started her own brand was the time my husband died in 2014. Rest in peace, Donald. So she started her own brand, and at the time, my designer for my website was her partner, and he basically plagiarized my whole website. Okay, and her website literally was like a mirror image of my website, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know how people can do this. And I've realised from that, I was like, I don't know if I want to work with anyone anymore. I don't want to train people up. And again, every time I would talk to my mentors, they would say, be patient. Be patient with people that you work with. Some people that you work with are not on the same level as you, so they won't understand your journey. You have to trust the journey. Like I said at the start of the conversation, stay patient and trust the journey. And also, being patient actually builds your character. Okay, being patient builds your character, and you learn to, I always treat people with respect, but I've realised some of the people at the beginning of my journey of becoming Solo Flair brand, they had no respect. And like, yes, exactly, they had no morals as well. It was quite upsetting. Now, being a black designer, I don't want people to think, oh my god, Marsha's really negative today, because normally she's positive. But those particular people that I was working with, they put me off working with black people because they were black. Okay, I'm a black woman, strong black woman, and I believe in working with other black females and black males to build up our community. But these 2 people actually put me off of working with black people for a short time. However, you can't tarnish that particular issue. I can't tarnish anyone else with that same brush. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to use that issue as a stepping stone, as fuel to say, do you know what, that's just happened. That was just a small person who, you know, she decided to leave my brand. She thought she could elevate and do her own thing. I don't want people to stay with me in my business and have them for 20 years. It's not about that. If I can work with people and I inspire them to start their own brand, then I'm like, do you know what, I've actually done my job. That's amazing. But it's one of those things. So it put me off for a time, and now I'm able to learn from that and work with people again. I'm able to work with black people again. I love my people. They're just amazing, powerful kings and queens. So I've learned now, if things don't come the way that I want it, or when they don't come on time, I realise that there's a lesson to be learnt in whatever is happening, and to be patient. I hope this has made sense to someone who's been listening to me today, because I know there's so much more that I wanted to say in that, but I don't want to come across as, oh my God, Marsha's actually been moaning today and she's just basically cussing out her own people. I'm not cussing out my own people. What I've tried to say is, because of that incident that happened, it put me off, but then I realised you can't, it's with anything, on the news you might hear of, I don't know, we heard on the news yesterday someone in our area had raped some women, and me and my kids were like, oh my God, this is really bad. And when we saw the photo, it was a black guy. I was like rolling the eyes thinking, oh, not another one. And society will look at that and think, oh my God, it's another black person, they're all the same. But they're not. We're not all the same. There's good and bad in every color, every single group of people on this earth. We're never to actually look and think, oh, because one person hurt us, they're all the same, because they're actually not. So I've learned a lesson for myself. I learned that, I might have had one bad experience with a black web designer. It doesn't mean that every other black designer that comes on board with me is going to be exactly the same. Thank you for all those that are joining on right now. I'm just sharing about being patient, and I'm using my story to encourage people. If you've had bad experiences with people, exactly, we love every race. You're so right there. Thank you for that comment. You can't tarnish every single one of us. If you had a bad experience with me, or anyone, you love, you learn, and then you grow and you move on. And that's what I've learned in my business. I worked with a set of people in my very first job. They treated me, oh my gosh, so badly. But I don't look at that and think, oh, that race, they're all the same. Because I've got friends who are from that same community and they're completely different. So I hope that this has made sense to everyone who's listened today. I hope that you're enjoying, coming on at 1 o'clock on a Friday to Solo Flair Boutique's page. We've got so much stuff happening. I've got an interview apparently coming up, so I hope that everyone can join me for this interview. I haven't got the date confirmed, but that'll be on Facebook. I don't normally do Facebook Live, it's normally Instagram, but I'll somehow work it that I can have the Facebook and the Instagram at the same time, so my Instagram people don't miss out. I hope that everyone has a fantastic weekend. My daughter went, it's Halloween. I'm a bit nervous about Halloween. I don't like this season. I'm going to stay indoors. Thank you so much, Georgia. I love you. Thank you. So it's the last day of the month. We're going into November. It's time to start wearing, oh my gosh, padded stuff. We've got knitwear. We've got berets, hats and stuff. Get your scarves out, layers. Time for those sexy high boots and some skinny jeans. Look at me all talking all sultry now. I actually love this season, even though I'm a summer baby. I'm August born and I love the summer. I love being in play suits and shorts and little denim skirts and stuff. But I'm actually enjoying, maybe it's because I'm getting older, I'm enjoying wrapping up and, we've got one more day. I'm trying to rush this month away, sorry. We've got October finishes tomorrow, and then obviously we've got November. Christmas is coming, ladies. I don't know if we're even going to get a chance to go out partying. Should anyone need a party dress, I'm always going to let you guys know. Call your girl. Marsha's here from Solo Flair. I have a huge amount of knowledge on body shapes. I've got so many different fabric suppliers that are coming on board. I've got fabric suppliers up north, down south, and even over in Europe. Yes, and I'm still using my Europe suppliers until the government changes how we bring things in, because I've heard the adverts recently about Brexit and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about Brexit. Is it really going to affect me? But it shouldn't do. So for those that have just joined, I'm yes, Rush 2020 period. This is it now. It's that time, isn't it? Christmas time. For those that have just joined me, I'm sorry because I'm actually finishing my live. So just rewind back and listen in. I'm hoping that there'll be some snippets in there that you can use and say, actually, do you know what, Marsha made a good point. I wasn't race bashing. I wasn't bashing my own race. I love every single, my family's very multicultural. We've got black, Chinese, German, Irish, we're all nations. My uncle says we are all nations in our family, you know, and I don't feel no way. So I just want people to recognize when you have a bad experience with one person from a particular race, don't tarnish that whole race, because we're not all the same. And someone might have met me when I was younger and they might have said, "Oh my gosh, she's an angry black woman." Well, meet me now. I'm cool as a cucumber. And those that know me personally will tell you she's actually all right. So I've got people passing me now because I'm doing live outside. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please watch this video back. Send me some comments. I appreciate feedback. So if you think, Marsha, you're just waffling today, let me know. And if you had something you felt that was actually making sense, I know, George, I'm mad in it. If there's something that made sense, please just inbox me, because I want to know that what I'm doing, this has been on my heart for months, and I stepped out in faith 3 weeks ago to do these lives, and my partner's like, "You sure this is going to be okay?" And I'm like, "No, I really feel like I'm giving back something from my own journey, because I know there's people out there that have gone through the same or worse, and they just want to know, will I get through it? And you will. So God bless you guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next Friday, 1 p.m. Tell your friends and share it as well. Take care.